Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the Client Spotlight series. And today we're joined by the amazing Naeema Musaji. So she joined the round three of Sacred Feminine Pleasure. So I'm going to let her introduce herself and then we're going to get into the questions. Okay, so over to you, Naeema.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Naeema and I joined Rosaline's program for many reasons, which I'll talk about. But the main reason why I joined was I absolutely loved Rosaline's energy from day one, from the get-go. And I really felt like I was so ready for my next level of just being me and I was ready for a new level. You know, when you feel that in your body, like there's something, I feel like I need to be free. And I think I said this on all the sessions as well that we had. I just want to be free. And I felt like there was something holding me back and I just didn't know what it was. So unlike so many other people, I didn't even know I was coming to Sacred Feminine Pleasure. I was like, I just want to be here for the vibes. I just want it to be that this year is a year of so much more growth for me. And I remember messaging you, Rosaline, before saying, is this the place for me? I don't know what I want, but I just know that I want this year to be the best year of my life. And you obviously said that I'm more than welcome to join. And so, yeah, that's why I joined.
Oh, Naeema, I love your vibes, mashallah. So Naeema, I want to start with the first question. What made you, now that you mentioned that, what made you join? Like, you just wanted the next level of life. How was like the first moments of after joining and like coming to the first session? What was that experience like?
Okay, so I think the first couple of sessions, I didn't realize how much I was holding on to. See, this is the part, right? Like, because I didn't know what I was coming on. I was like, I just wanted to feel free. Something holding me back, and I didn't quite know what it was. So the first few sessions, it literally felt like I was releasing things that I didn't know I was holding on to. And I remember the first few weeks of SFP, I cried a lot. It was very, very heavy. I'm not going to lie. My real experience, guys, it was very heavy. And it's almost like I was looking at life from a complete different lens.
Wow.
Yeah, it was hard.
Mm.
But
wow.
yeah, after that, I think I felt a lot lighter. I feel lighter. I feel like I have more clarity.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm literally crying for you. This is amazing. And I don't think a lot of women, this is the reason why I create this container, because I don't feel like a lot of women realize what they're holding on to, especially when it comes to the past stories and past experiences. Like, there's a lot of shame that holds us down, right? Like the shame of like who I used to be in the past and what I used to think. And if only I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be here. And like, we make so many conclusions about life based upon our past. So I love the fact that you're just feeling light now. And this is what every single woman in Sacred Feminine Pleasure, like we just have play date, right? So every single woman will say, I'm just so happy to be. I'm just so excited to live life. Like all of us are stuck in survival. Like when you think about it, when you have beliefs about the past and you worry about the past and the mistakes you made, or like the shame that you have, it stops you from living. It keeps you in survival mode. So I love the fact that you're just saying, I feel so much lighter. Like, how priceless is that lightness to you? How priceless is it?
When I say before SFP, I was already feeling amazing. So for me to say, I was feeling good. I didn't come from a place of I'm struggling. The difference is, I think a lot of people feel like in order to be healed, you need to come from this place of, oh my God, I'm like, I can't live. I'm like, I'm stuck. I'm struggling. I wasn't struggling. I could put my hands up and say, I was feeling amazing before SFP. Then I joined. Like I said, I knew there was something holding me back because I just felt like uneasy. I feel like our soul is made to constantly grow. And something was holding me back. And I joined and I had this moment of, oh my God, I'm holding on to so much. Mine was religious shame, by the way, guys. Okay. I didn't realize I was holding on to so much religious shame. I felt like Rosaline helped me to see that the reason why I was holding myself back, and by the way, I didn't even get coaching fully on this. This is based on just being in the container. I realized that I was holding on to so much religious shame that I didn't even know I was holding on to, because I was like, because it just didn't click to me, even though it was obvious. I realized me showing up online, it realized being around people, expressing my love for Allah, I was always suppressing it because I was like, I'm not good enough to be a servant of Allah. I'm not good enough because I'm not who others want me to be. So now I am just going to own it. Like, that is what I got out of that. And that is priceless. The fact that I am allowed to be me and be a servant of Allah, to have a mission for the sake of Allah. I always felt like when I said it out loud, I wasn't allowed that. Why? Because I'm not good enough. I wasn't how other people wanted me to be. I was a person that, oh, sorry, I got a phone call. And this is going to sound like I'm waffling, guys, but this, I'm just allowing my emotions to flow. I didn't plan this. I didn't plan this out before, but I just wanted to be totally vulnerable here. And it was that I had been bullied for not being good enough, and not having a hijab that was long enough, for not being highest enough. I got kicked out of school for not being the idea of what a Muslim woman should look like. I didn't realize I was even holding on to this because I'm very resilient. And I don't say it as a bad thing. I actually say it's a good thing. It allows me to get through so many challenges. It allows me to look past people's opinions of me. But this was actually sitting really deep inside me. I realized that even when I was showing up online or offline, I almost felt like I had to hide or suppress that side of me that was actually very, very passionate. I love Allah. And for so long, I felt like I wasn't allowed to say that out loud, because every time I did, I would get so triggered by the people saying to me that you're not a good Muslim, or people's comments to say, oh, but doesn't Islam say this? And I realized that people were expecting perfection from me. And I think it was actually the second to last session of SFP where somebody was talking about, you know, how the people in her life were so hard on her, always expecting perfection. And I realized that's what it was. I was holding onto other people's perfection, and I didn't need to do that. Like, why was I carrying that? So yeah, that was huge for me. This was absolutely huge.
Oh my gosh. And Naima, thank you for pointing that out, because this is feminine energy. Like, we have to connect our feminine energy to God, Allah. We have to. Like, I know a lot of feminine coaches talk about, you know, just do self-care. The main power, the main source of your feminine energy is Allah. So if you're disconnected from him, there's no way you're going to tap into your true feminine power. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care whatever lies people tell you, that feminine energy is just you feeling this way. No, it comes from Allah. You have to connect to Allah. And I love the fact that you just, like, it's so true. People want, when, especially on social media, and I know like you have a business, you're a coach as well, especially on social media, everyone expects perfection. It's so true. Everyone expects perfection. Like, you have to be this perfect role model, this perfect Muslim, and if you're not, then everything you say is void. And that's further from the truth. And this is why in week 5, I think it was, we did our abundance blocks around confidence and being authentic. The more confident you become, the more real you are to yourself, the more you're going to connect to Allah. And I just love the fact that this has all come full circle. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
I think definitely, just as you said, it was that for me was always the goal. Like, it had to be for the sake of Allah. And I feel like because I was holding these judgments, it was making me sway. Like, I now need to seek validation of somebody else. I need to fit somebody else's version of what it meant for the sake of Allah. So every time, like, even I am so far, like, I kind of felt embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie, it did make me feel a bit like, who am I? Why am I doing that? Like, that's not even you. Why are you seeking validation of anyone else? And I have to remind myself, like, this isn't you, darling. Like, you know, you, like, come on. I think you really helped me to see that. Like, I didn't need to look at those. And it was bullying. I feel like it was bullying. Like, I don't have to look at these online bullies anymore and think, oh, wow, I need your validation. I need to be who you want me to be. I can just be who I am. I don't need to prove anything anymore. And do you know how amazing that was? Rosaline, I don't know if you remember, I was telling you I had neck and shoulder pain. That was going on for so long. And everybody was telling me, and I had convinced myself that it was because of the way I sit and the posture that I have when I'm feeding my son. Okay, so he's 5 months now, four and a half months. So I've been having this for about 4.5 months. This is what's crazy, guys. When I had this realization, the shoulder pain has gone.
Allah.
I had been for massages. I had been telling my husband every night, like, can you please, my shoulders are hurting me so much. I don't know what it is. My shoulders are killing me. It's not normal. Okay, like alhamdulillah, I'm healthy, I'm fit. It was just not normal. So I had gone for massages, and the lady would be sitting there massaging my shoulders for 90 minutes, and I'd come out and nothing would have changed. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. These shoulder pains have gone. Like I didn't like, and I remember you saying that I'm carrying the judgment of people on me. So even though I was showing up strong, I was showing resilience, but it was storing itself in my body. And I think that is what I shed. So yeah, for me, that's priceless. Like, honey, if it means I let go of that, this was so worth it for me.
Allahu Akbar. Oh my gosh, that is amazing and so true. Oh, now what you just said about holding the weight of people's judgments, yes, it falls on your shoulders. Oh, and another thing, I really want to applaud you for saying this, that even though I'm showing up and I'm being strong and I'm being showing resilience, I was carrying all that in my body, because it's so true. When the subconscious mind can't delete the memories, it stores the memories in your body. So you were feeling that shoulder pain because you are holding on to so much judgment of yourself through the lens of your bullies, through the lens of the online bullies, through the lens of the religious trauma. You were like, okay, I can't deal with it right now. Let me just store it here. And every time you get that pain, it was just a reminder, we need to get rid of this. We just need to get rid of it. So alhamdulillah, I'm so happy that that's all gone. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so what was abundance rewiring like? Describe like the whole experience of abundance rewiring. What was it like for you?
It was, see, I've done abundance rewiring before, and I do it myself because I'm with my clients as well, because it's one of the tools that I use. But what I liked about it was the fact that it was in a group, and hold on, I'll tell you why I like this part. For a long time, I felt like I didn't need to be around other women. And over the past 2 years, I'd say, being around other women has been so important for me. This is one of the main reasons why I even wanted to be in this container. I'm like, being around women that are healing, hell yes, sign me up. Like, I just knew it was for me. So the whole abundance rewiring sessions, they were great. Like, I think that my brain used to switch off. I'd fall asleep. That's why I'm like, I can't answer this fully. I would just fall asleep. And
I remember.
I would just fall asleep. But I remember I would cry a lot. I was, like I said, I was releasing. It's not that I was sad. I wasn't sad. I was just releasing. I felt like it was just a huge release when I was listening to these abundance rewiring sessions, which was great. And it just, I feel like by the end of it, every time I listened to a session, I was so much more grounded in who I was. This is it. This is me. I don't care. Like, I'm fine. I am absolutely fine. I don't care about the people's opinions. I don't care about anything else. This is me. This is what I'm doing. It's for the sake of Allah. Nothing can sway me now. I felt unstoppable.
Oh, Allahu Akbar. And you know what? And the fact that you said grounded. So like, I know like certain hypnotherapy techniques takes you back to childhood, but I feel like it doesn't help you focus on the version of yourself that has it all. And this is what we do in abundance rewiring, right? Like, we quantum leap to the identity that we want instead of living through the lens of the little girl who was abandoned and rejected and wounded. So the fact that you fell asleep is proof that you did some deep subconscious work, because hypnotherapy is simply going to sleep. That's all it is. You fall asleep, and if you fall asleep, that means your subconscious mind was literally taking in all the information and deleting memories, deleting programs, deleting all this pain, purging the shame itself. Like, you literally just fell asleep and let the subconscious mind do the work, which is amazing. And feeling grounded, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how powerful it is to feel grounded. Because when you don't feel grounded, you will constantly look for other people to ground you. You will look at other people and think, okay, why are they not validating me? I need someone to validate me so I can feel grounded. But now that you have that power within you, you realize you had it all along. I don't need no one to tell me who I am. I know who I am. Like, that's a very powerful position to be in. Like, you are just, that's feminine energy. This is pure feminine energy.
And do you know what?
Amazing.
Do you know what? You just reminded me of something right now. I realized before, like, people would ask me to do things for them, and it was coming from a place of, maybe this is what will make me feel more connected to who I am. So if somebody gave me a project And it was, imagine if it was something to do with, I don't know, even if it was to do with coaching or talking about marriage, I'd want to say yes to things that weren't fully aligned with me, because it's almost like I was seeking validation in that project. Like, yes, maybe that will prove to myself that I'm a good Muslim, I'm doing something for the sake of Allah, but they didn't even align with me. My intuition, my gut was telling me that it wasn't for me, but I was trying so hard for things to align with me that they would never fall through, by the way. They'll never fall through. Something would come up. And I feel like Allah has been saving me. Allah has always saved me, by the way. Allah has always saved me. Alhamdulillah. Allah has saved me from so much. It's unbelievable. So I feel like I see it now. It's like I literally see what's going on. And I realize that, man, I just need Allah's validation. That's it. That's as simple as it gets to be.
And this is so, like, I'm so excited right now. This is so powerful, right? Because like when you're in this space, you couldn't care less what people say about you. And just like you said, you're gonna make decisions that feel aligned with who you are, not from a place of like, should I do this? Or if I do this and this will happen, you're like, I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to do it. Like, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna say no. Like, another part of feminine energy is being able to hold that boundary and be like, yes, it sounds tantalizing, it sounds delicious, but it's not what I want. Another thing is, like, a lot of us women, especially us independent women, we're very high achieving women. We tend to give ourselves what we need by working with someone else, by giving someone else what they need, hoping it's going to fill that void within. So it's like you mentioned, like projects, things that I'm doing, I'm thinking I'm doing it for the sake of Allah, but really just like I need that validation. So being in this position, again, it's very powerful. Like you're just showing it. You're showing up as Naeema, this powerful woman who just needs Allah, and that's it. Oh, this is pure feminine energy. I'm getting so excited. It's bubbling up inside of me. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so what would you say before I ask this question, how was the sisterhood? What was it like? I know you touched upon it before. What was it like to be in a container with other women who were sharing some like very deep challenges? What was it like to be in that container? Did you feel safe?
100%, like without a doubt. I think like as a person, naturally, I'm very, very selective of like where I put myself. That's just like, maybe there's some healing that needs to be done there. I might be like DMing you, Rosaline, heal me, sis. But I'm very selective of where I put myself, because I feel like I can carry people's energy. If I'm not in the right place, my body will tell me you're not in the right place. I know it. Like, put me somewhere where I don't belong and it's not good for me, my body will literally, there'll be a resistance there. So when I was there, like the fact that I was able to be vulnerable with these women, I don't even know the names or the faces of these women, but the fact that I just felt like I could totally be myself and just let go and bawl my eyes out. Literally, I was such a mess in this program for no good reason. Why am I crying so much for? But for no good reason, I was crying my eyes out in front of these women, where usually I'm the one who always has it together. Was amazing. So yeah, I didn't even need to say I feel safe. My body was telling me I felt safe here. So yeah.
And that's amazing. And I want to touch upon that. Like, when you are aware of energy, it's like is nothing wrong with being aware of like where you don't fit. Because Naeema, I call you eclectic. You're very colorful. You're a very vibrant person. You're a very vibrant woman. Like, just you talking it gives off this it gives off the vibe that you're very energetic. It's amazing. So sometimes when you go into containers where you don't fit, and then you start dimming your light and you start suppressing yourself, that's when you know, okay, this is not where I need to be. So I love the fact that you felt like you fit in this container, because alhamdulillah about it, you're an amazing personality. Like, you cover so many parts of the personality. People feel safe around you, people can laugh around you, people feel like you're not going to judge them. That's an amazing energy to have. So to be able to hold it in that container, oh, alhamdulillah, that's just phenomenal. Okay, so last question.
Thank you for being you know what, I appreciate it so much. Like, honestly, and can I just say, before you go on to the last question, right? I'm very selective of who like, who I would even let coach me, to be honest, as well. Like, I can sense bullshit from a mile away, mind my language, but I can sense it. Like, you don't even need to say a word to me, and I just know, like, it's not for me. And
Wow.
to have a coach that was like, who would very much call me out and say, this is what it is, you need to face up to what it is that you're suppressing in the most loving, caring, I care for you way. Like, you have a genuine care to heal, and you have a genuine care for people to want to live as, like, I don't like saying the best version of themselves, because that word is thrown away so, like, around so much, but that's literally what it is, the most authentic version of you, without dimming yourself down. And I love that. I love that for you, like, and I love that for me, that I was able to be accepted into SFP, because that is huge. Like, there's not that many people. The online space is crowded, and I feel like working with you, like, you're like gold dust. Honestly, you're like gold dust.
Oh, thank you for recognizing that in me. Alhamdulillah. Oh my God, you got me here crying now.
I'm
You
not,
got
I
me.
kid you not, like, I'm not here to, like, just big it up for no reason. You're gold dust. And I remember, like, one of the first coaches I ever wanted to work with was you. And I didn't for like about 2 years, or probably a year or so. And I was working with loads of other people. I was getting mentoring on so many other things. And this was actually nothing to do with business, by the way. This was nothing to do with even anything. This was just for me, purely for me. This was my treat to myself. So when I treat myself, I make sure it's good.
Oh, like thank you for pointing that out, Naima, because wallahi, it's like a genuine. I have this genuine. That's like a genuine care to heal. Like, I really want you all to win. Like, and just like you said, it wasn't for business. Like, guys, Naima didn't come here for business. She didn't come here for business support. Just like you said, this for herself. And alhamdulillah, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the results. Like, mashallah, you've come leaps and bounds in just 8 weeks. Guys, 8 weeks this was. This was the 8 week container. This is proof that it doesn't take a lifetime to heal, doesn't take a lifetime to change, doesn't take a lifetime to shift. Just like Naima was saying, that she didn't come in with major problems. She was happy. Life is great. There's something she was holding on to. So this is proof again that it doesn't take years or takes many, many programs or this affirmation, that affirmation to just get rid of that feeling. Alhamdulillah, that is amazing. Final question, Naima. What would you say? Let's say there's a woman who is on the fence, wants to join Sacred Feminine Pleasure, but she's in indecision, she's on the fence. What would you say to her to invest?
I would say, why are you choosing yourself? That's all I'd say. That's honestly what I'd say. I'm like, please, like, for once in your life, choose yourself in a way that may even feel a little bit uncomfortable for you. Like, I get that this is an uncomfortable decision for so many people, but at the end of the day, you're living with you forever. You can't run away from yourself. You can't run away from what you're carrying. You can't run away from what your body is storing. You're going to have to face it, and it will be for the good. Like, literally, there's no other way to put it. You're going to be winning at the end of it. When people say do the work, like, I will say to people, do the work. Like, this is the work. Like, I tell people to do the work because I'm doing the work. You have to face up to your own actions, your own behaviors, what you're holding on to, what you're refusing to let go of. And the minute you do that, honestly, I just want everyone to feel this lightness and this clarity that I and so many others have been able to feel. And like I said, it is a journey. It's going to be a journey, but it's so worth it. And I'm going to catch up with all the sessions. I know I missed a few, but I'm really excited to just put my headphones in and listen to them all and fall asleep.
Oh, I love it, Naima. Oh my gosh. And before we end this conversation, let everyone know where they can find you and what programs you have right now, what you're selling, what you're promoting.
Yeah, sure. So, all right, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that, but you can find me on Instagram. Rosaline can tag me, Naeema Akhtar. So I work with women who are just like myself, to be honest, high achievers, go-getters, just really value themselves. and they want that in their relationship too. So I teach women how to step into their feminine energy as well. You know, I'm all on the big on the feminine energy. Step into their feminine energy, have that success mindset, and also empower their husbands and allow him to step into his masculine, so he feels safe around you, he can desire you, love you, and want to be that man to protect you. So you can find me on my Instagram. I run a program called the Peaceful Passionate Marriage, which I have poured my life and soul into, just so that women can feel that passion in their relationships. So yeah, that's how you
just yeah, message Naeema. Like she's the real deal. I don't know about it. I feel like there needs to be more women, Muslim women, women of color, just sharing about feminine energy, true feminine energy. And Naeema, you do an amazing job at it, mashallah. So thank you so much, Naeema, for jumping on this call. I know it's been a bit busy and hectic.
I know, I know. I came here, I'm here, but thank you so much, Rosaline, and I cannot wait to just hear more from you. Like, just work with you.
I know, we're gonna stay in contact.
I know I will.
We'll probably do some live together, inshallah. Yes, but yeah, thank you so much.
Our next live.
Inshallah. All right then, take care, Naeema.
Bye, assalamu alaikum.